So recently, whilst we were having a conversation on the Figureight Discord server, link in the description, there was mention about this. This is the Dinka Urban, aka the Honda City, and I thought I'd done a video on this, but actually, I did a video on an actual Honda City mod. I never actually touched this one, so we've got to rectify that right now and take a look at this. Here it is, the Dinka Urban. I absolutely love this. There are not that many K cars for GTA 5, like proper lore-friendly, fitting within the game K cars. There are a couple. I'm going to try and get them all in videos very soon. But we'll start with this one. So this is, according to the labels on the back here, the Dinka Urban Legend. Actually, I like the urban legend thing. That's pretty cool. So we've got these wheels here. We've got some Dinka Motorsport caps on here. We've got the Dinka badging up front. This thing looks absolutely fantastic. We have our interior as well. Very well modeled, very well made, very nice. This is top tier, in my opinion. So with everything open, we have our engine bay right here with our computer-controlled turbocharger. Dinka intercooler. This is so awesome. We've even got a sticker here, just a full-on Japanese sticker. And of course, because it's right-hand drive, even though this is law-friendly, it is still a Japanese import. Although, okay, so America, so there is a real Japan, right, in the game, because America is America, so Japan's Japan. I'm kind of curious to, like, what the law-friendly name for Tokyo and all these other places are inside of GTA, because I don't think they've ever been mentioned. Anyway, just a random thought. Yeah, we've even got the boot that's even got, like, arch stuff here. It's just the whole everything. There's just nice detail in this. Very cool. Onto the tuning parts, we have a few. We have the spoiler. We have the no spoiler. We then have the low-level spoiler, which I'm not a fan of. Not really into that at all, but ooh, what the hell texture's that? Like plastic. Like textured dashboard plastic. But we also have that with the low-level spoiler as well. I do just like that standard spoiler. I appreciate the spoilerless look, so maybe we'll do that in the first build. We'll do another one afterwards with the spoiler. We then have front bumper options. We have the standard. We have the intercooler delete, which just looks terrible down there. We then have the stock front bumper with fog lights, basically just removing those fog light covers. We have different combinations of with and without intercooler as well. We have the plastic front bumper, again, with this very deeply textured plastic. I feel like this is more like an interior plastic than an exterior plastic, which you'd assume would be a little bit smoother. But the texture is wonderful. It's very nice. There's actually a lot of detail there and bump mapping and stuff going on, so can always appreciate that. But then we have this in different combinations of intercoolers and fog lights and no fog lights. Also noticed, this plastic front bumper is the only one that comes without a fog light slot. The painted one doesn't have that option. Well, as I've gone for the spoilerless, I'm going to go for the plastic front bumper in what I'm going to try and make as a base spec model. And I guess we'll have our matching rear plastic bumper. Perfect. So for the side skirts, we have a mud flap removal, mud flap delete. We then have the plastic side skirts, and then we just have that with the mud flap delete as well. I'm just going to go for no mud flap, plastic sides, get that full plastic look going on. On the grille, we have the stock. We have the performance grille, which is basically just a debadged version. And then we also have the performance grille with... Wait, what's the difference? Oh, I see. Right, if we compare these two, you can tell the difference. This one has this little sort of cutout bit, whereas the other one doesn't. I guess I'm going to keep that stock then, as I'm trying to go for like a base spec model. Then that should also mean we can go for the smooth hood in a second. So we have the power bulge, and then we have the smooth. I'm going to go for the smooth. On the fenders, we have the stock. We have the plastic front splitter if we wanted a little... Oh, see, now this is not base spec, but I appreciate this. We then also have this painted. I'm going to go for this in another build because I want to make this like a modified base spec model, so I'm going to go without the splitter. On the roof, we have the stock. We have the ridged roof, which just adds these little ridge lines to the top here. We then have the sunroof. Then we have the sunroof with the ridged roof. So the sunroof's obviously going to be an optional extra, so I think for this one we're going to have the stock roof. We can upgrade our engine. Actually, let's not. Actually, yes, let's do. it looks standard, but ooh, it's going to be fast. In terms of suspension, what do we have here? We've got pretty decent drop. That's a pretty decent drop. Let's go for that. We'll be using V-Stancer in a minute anyway. We have no extras, but we can add our turbo. Has full window tints capability. I'm not going to tint the window though. On Benny's, do we have the ability to change the interior colors? Yes, we do. Perfect. I think I want to go for grey on this, because I feel like anything... I mean, the dark steel is a sort of greyish look, but I kind of want to go for a lighter grey. So I guess that's probably the rolled steel versus the dark steel. Yeah, because anything that's too black, I feel like it makes it look a little bit more upmarket. We also have the optional colour of the fabric as well. Now, I think having extra colour adds prestige. So I think really we should just keep it at rolled steel and make that all very monotone in there. We then have the option of the front plate removal or the centered front plate. Is that hovering? Actually, I think it's just attached at a very small point at the top there. Either way, it looks like it's kind of floating there. I'm just going to keep that stock. And then the livery, we actually have a bunch of livery options. Won't suit this, but I do want to look through them. Dinka Racing, we also have the Dinka. I'm going to do this in the next build, I think, that stripe. We then have some more Dinka-style things. I do like these. We have the whatever on earth this is supposed to be. Just to make it like a box, I guess. We then have the Retro Racer, the Chiansky, the Kill Climb Tribute, very 80s, the OEM decals, and the Princess Robot Bubblegum version, because, of course. Again, for this one, I'm going to go stock livery. See, now for the wheels, I'm kind of thinking steel wheels. I like the idea that it may have been the wheels that it came with, and we've just decided to ban them to make it cooler, to make it wider, but you didn't want to buy new wheels. So I'm going to go for the Retro Steely, make the wheels black as well. And actually, if I just quickly look for the car variation colors here, I've also noticed that this color on the rear bumper can also be changed, as well as on the front bumper as well. So we can add an extra level of color here. Interesting car variation colors, actually. And as I've gone through, I did go for the black wheels, but I've had a bit of a a thing here. I want to go for this. I want to go for this because I think the white and then the white steels looks awesome. But on the secondary color, I do want to go and change that back to just a matte gray or something, just to make that blend in a bit better. The white made it look a little bit too fancy, I think. Then with V-Stancer, I'm kind of curious what happens if we just make these wheels wider. Size-wise, I do actually want to make them smaller. We get all of our tire radius and stuff down so it actually touches on the ground. And now I feel like because we made the wheels smaller, that should give us much better lowering. Ooh, okay. So we get the rear track width in. I'm not going to go for anything crazy on this. I kind of wanted to go for like a base spec one that's just slammed. And I think that does the job absolutely perfectly. And it does have a fast engine as well, because we have modified it. So we've got the... Oh, listen to that. Is that custom to this car? Is that from something that's already in GTA? I don't think I've ever heard that dump valve sound in this game before. Huh. Interesting. Well, that's a build. That is a build. Now, there is that... And it's crashed. Well, I guess this is absolutely the right time as we jump back into the game to show you the other part of this. It's the Dinka Fentoso, which is a law-friendly version of the Honda Moto Compo. Absolutely awesome. I love this thing. It's actually not that slow. Just looking through on customs here, we don't really have the options of anything. We do have some livery options. Let's just stop for a second and have a look at this. There we go. Put your just make that appear from thin air. Thanks, Michael. So we have the options of the stock, the cherry, just some nice cherry blossom on there, the red stripes, the Princess Robot Bubblegum, lovely, and then the fighter. Ooh, I think perfect. Let's just go for that. Let's make it Fister Pink so the whole thing blends in perfectly. It's even got four-wheel customization, of course. So I'm going to go for the hot plate on the front and then just leave the back with the 3-spoke because I think that's a cool double look. Also, apparently we can add some hot pink to these. So we'll add some hot pink. And, well, there we go. Actually, I kind of want to see what happens if we try to make this faster. So we'll upgrade the engine, brakes, transmissions, get this nice and drivable. Not much on the extra. Well, there's no extras. There's a turbo. And I guess if we just start cranking this up. There we go. Okay. I don't think Michael is actually going to survive this. I think... Oh. Okay. Fair enough. Well, there's the Dinka Ventoso. Let's do one more build on the Dinka Urban, because I feel like we got shortchanged with that build, seems like it crashed right at the end. And here we are with the second build, and I've decided to go in a sort of street racer but modern style. So I've gone for some modern flares but with some sort of old school retro callbacks on this one. So I've gone for this racing blue metallic paint. I thought I'd make this nice and very modernized with a metallic paint, but I've gone old school because I've gone for this red line all the way across with the Dinka from the livery. I've gone for these wheels again with the red caps in the middle because I thought it all matched, and again these sort of have a bit of a modern sort of like something that 1552 would sell, so it sort of has that modern twist. On the interior I went for black and red just to kind of add to the sort of premium but sporty look that it has. I've gone for the extended skirts on this as well, and it does look lovely. I've gone for the D-badge grille. I've gone for the bulge on the bonnet. I've gone for the visible fog lights. On the rear, nothing really changed because the only rear option we had was the bumper. We didn't even have different exhaust tips or anything like that, so none of that's been changed. I've kept the standard rear spoiler, and there we go. Oh, and by the way, I changed the sound. I made it sound fast, and I've also tinkered with the power a bit, so it should be pretty quick. Okay, I did actually... I put the horsepower up by quite a margin, and it doesn't... Oh. Well, I guess that's probably about where I was going to end. I was going to say that it wasn't that fast. I was expecting that to be a lot faster. Clearly, something is not right with this mod, because I've not experienced this with anything else, but hopefully it would work better for you guys. There's a link as with every mod in the description below, and also a link for Discord in the description below, which you guys might be interested in. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you with hopefully a more reliable Grand Theft Auto 5 in the next video. So I'll see you later. Goodbye.